Al Williams for real here. I just want to go over a little bit of information with you. So let me slow down so you can understand it a little bit better. I'm not going to give you my news article or my TV show voice. I'm going to come to you transparent so you understand it. So right now I'm reading it, but it's going to be posted right here. So with that being said, it says the actual rules for our group, it's $100 for 700. No two people required on entry, or for entry is what it says. So that means on a normal Susu, they require you to have 2 people for you to join. Our group don't. We recruit as a team. Normally how we add your 2 or our 2 is because of team effort, just to clarify. It says that on here. 3 weeks to turn around. It normally takes how many? 2. Our flower is currently built by Royal, Sterling, and myself. Your Cash App goes to Sterling. She's our financial a blessing bank. So remember that, and receipts are available upon request. Very easy. We all know the rules. We got that concept, what the rules are. Now, inside of the group, why you are getting paid every 2 weeks and how I got that to work. So basically what I do is I started out as a flower. So instead, when I came in, I bought 10 people into my flower. So not only did it close out my flower, but it helped push the person that was coming in under me on their flower, which is right here. So when that person came out on their flower, they were able to use my overflow to help push them over, and they got paid out in the same 2 week time frame that I did, right? So when they came in and they showed their proof, they would say, oh, I got my money. They brought in people to help be an overflow for someone else. And I noticed that it worked, and it worked perfectly, and it continued to ensure that everybody get paid out in a timely manner. Now that we know the concept and I know how it works, I made it easy breezy. So I put everybody that comes in as a recruit on a person's flower, close their flower out. Sometimes we have to get some people in to do a little bit of work. So for example, in our family, we had Jessica, Chris, Charles, Antoine, myself, Sharika. Like a lot of people post on their Facebook posts, and it works really, really well. LaShawn posted just yesterday and brought in maybe 5 or 6 people to close out our whole entire board at one time. Not only did she close out 1, she closed out 2, she closed out 3 boards by herself. And not saying she did it by herself, because we all helped, but her little bit of that post closed out the actual boards. I mean, that she closed the boards out. So that's a very important thing. So think about that when you think about it. And then when Monique came in and brought 4 people right behind her and closed out Autumn board, that pushed the overflow from everybody else that LaShawn was going to put on the boards to Blake's board to get her closed out. So you know, it's a continued trickling effect, and it works. So if we work on Rashad's board and then continue to work on Jackie, they'll be in their 2 week time frame, because some people only been here a day and they have already moved into the cloud spot or in the earth spot. So that's very important to watch. Pay attention to that, because that's very important. Now, we have questions in the group. We had some questions that people wanted to know and wanted to ask some answers. So the first question that I had is, I want to know how people are placed on which flower. As I stated earlier, we place you strategically on the flower that we're working on. And the reason why we do that is because that flower is going to be the one that moves, and you'll be on the flower that moves with it. So if you remember, Sharika came in on the flower that was being closed out. It closed out the same day she moved up into the cloud spot, because we were working on that flower. Now, if you remember, Yoko put Cree under her because she brought that person in, and that's okay. You can do that. You can put someone under you. But remember, if our team is not focused on your flower, then that person is going to sit there until we start focusing. That focus might be next week, because you just came in on Monday. So you have a 2 week holding time. So put that person on the flower that we're working on, so we can push them people up, and they'll continue to be in the 2 week time frame. So Cree is on that flower, and she's going to sit, and that's going to put her a week behind, and she's not going to be on the 2 week time frame. So the next question on the board is, why do we make this process a family unit and not an individual sport for faster payout? Well, to be honest, the individual sport is not a faster payout. It's actually a slower payout, because you're waiting on the next person to bring in their 2. And if they are not able to bring in their 2, you're stuck. Is what they call stalled. And we would never want to do that in our group. We have not had a stalled in our group since I've been in. So I think this is a great process. But the reason why we also do that is because sometimes, like, for example, someone brought in 4 people, which closed out someone else's board, but that person is not in the water. So if we continue to have a person come in as a fire, bringing in that one person, and then continue to build, we're closing them out every 2 weeks time frame, and it continues to flow over like that. I hope that answered that question. Why do we do a family unit? Because we able to post on social media. You got to understand, we have politicians in this group. We have church members. We have everything. Any type of person you can think of, they're in this group. And their recruiting style is totally different. Everybody recruits differently. But I use the Facebook post for those that can and that can't recruit. My last and final question that I have so far, and we can always do this again, you guys. It's not a one-time thing. I have time. Quarantine. Reason why we're posting on Facebook. So a lot of people get a lot of flack for posting on Facebook. I noticed that Facebook worked for us. If you don't feel comfortable posting on Facebook, do whatever is best for you to recruit. But we expect that you bring someone in so we can close your flower out just like we're closing someone else's flower out. So if you can do it a different way, that's totally fine. People have their other avenues. You can use Telegram too.
We'd like to thank you for your time, and any questions you have additional, put below.